All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Dive into Real Estate Investing for Newbies podcast. I have a very special guest, uh, Brandon Barnes, a good friend. Brandon is not new to the business. He's been really crushing it. You know, he's in Atlanta, Georgia, Stone Mountain. And just welcome to the show, Brandon. Appreciate you being here, brother.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you having me. Thanks, Cecil.
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir. So, Brandon, man, just tell us your story, how you got started, and what you're doing now presently.
Yeah, I got started 5 years ago now, really by chance. I had met a guy while I was interning in Pittsburgh who always was talking about real estate, always talking about real estate. And I, got that first job in Pittsburgh, and then moved me out to Illinois, Iowa area. And that company got bought out. The second company got bought out, and then I came down to a third stop, and I was able to go back home to Atlanta. And then that company got bought out and then fired me. And I reached out to my buddy that, was into real estate. And I just said, look, what is this real estate thing all about? As I was like looking for other jobs. And he said that he had actually moved to Atlanta, and I could come through. He was part of this new mentor program. It was wholesaling real estate. I can come through and pick up from him and learn. And look, the rest was history. I started driving for dollars. I started like listening to the coaching program and doing everything that was in it because I had free access. And I've just felt like this was my path to get into entrepreneurship, which is what it was, a lifelong dream.
So, I heard a little bit of your story, and just to go back, so you were kind of forced to find something else to do in so many words, and real estate just at the time was sounding like that was the one of the things to get into, and pretty much that kind of opened up these doors for you, right?
Yeah, 100%. I knew nothing about real estate until I was, in the job market and needing a job. First time I was ever fired, and completely knew nothing about it. But as I started to learn more and more about it, I was like, this could be my way into entrepreneurship, which was always something that was big to me. I even took the 15 credits at Purdue University for entrepreneurship certificate. So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and it just made sense.
Right, right. Man, you in Atlanta, man. That's a I mean, every market could be competitive if they look at it like that. But being in your market, you're really doing some things virtually too, right? And in
Yeah.
Atlanta, are you doing more deals virtually or in your backyard?
No, more deals in Atlanta for sure. More deals in
Okay.
Atlanta. Yeah, it's competitive, but it's a good competitive to the point where it's competitive but not ridiculously overpriced. There are those competitive markets where every house are multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, like a San Diego, like maybe a Miami, if you're like in downtown like South Beach or something, or New York, or it's not like that. It's there's still, there are the affluent areas, but there are those median household income areas like in the close to 100,000. And so there's still opportunity here to be able to make your mark if you have a consistent business process that you can follow.
Yeah. So yeah, that medium. I'm actually in Louisiana in Baton Rouge, and grew up in New Orleans, but that that 153 bedroom, two baths, yeah, that seemed to be a sweet spot out here also.
Yeah.
So um so Brandon, tell me virtually, so when you started doing this, basically you were doing this locally. What made you started branching out doing it virtually after a while?
Yeah. It was, talking to a guy that was in that first mentor program, and I was like, look, we're tired of dealing with Podio. We're tired of dealing with these CRMs. You can actually use your dialer as a CRM. And what I mean by that is you can group, you can attach things, you can prioritize your leads within the dialer so that you can speed up your follow-up process. And so with that, I had somebody that I put into that seat that lived in Mexico. And so he was, reaching out to all the new leads, following up. And then I trained him how to come up with the offer price by being able to analyze the as is comps and make our offers based off of that. And so because he was, doing this virtually from Mexico, I was like, look, we already have a virtual acquisitions process. Now all we need to go into other areas is just to have a buyer's list and boots on the ground. And it's often easier as things have gotten more competitive here in my home market. It's often easier to go pick off the low hanging fruit from other markets in addition to the digging that we're doing here. That's just going to help with our deal flow. It's just going to help with our deal flow tremendously, by being able to pick off low hanging fruits from a few different markets.
Right. So you find that are y'all doing more cold calling to pick up maybe most of y'all leads, or are y'all doing ringless voicemails,
No,
direct
no,
mail?
definitely cold calling. Definitely cold calling. I started cold calling like late 2016, early 17, before it was like super hot. And that helped me early on know how to do it, know how to leverage the channel. And it was working. It was working very well. Still does. It's just that there are a lot more people doing the same thing.
Right, right. So what you think are the misconceptions with virtual? Because obviously I think you've been doing it, the virtual thing. Because some people feel like, well, like you say, the boots on the ground. So you are you making offers on these homes without sight unseen, and just your VA is how is that process going? Can you kind of expound on that?
Yeah. It's really just trying to find as homes that sold as is in the area. And if the property that we're speaking to, the homeowner that we're speaking to, if they have a house that they say, look, it needs a bunch of work and it needs to be updated, like it was vandalized, then it's going to be on the lower end of those as is comps. If they say it's in a really good condition and just needs to be renovated and updated, then I could be on the higher end of those as is comps. So as soon as something pulls up, as soon as I start talking to a homeowner, I look in Zillow and see everything that's sold in the area. And then you can see, what those properties sold for before they were renovated.
Mhm.
And there's going to kind of be a range. You'll say that, look, most of these houses are selling like 250, maybe 300, but 6 months ago they sold for anywhere from 100 to 150. So that's going to tell me that home that has been vandalized and needs to be updated, my offer could probably be 20K less than that, the low end of that range. If my home is, the homeowner I'm speaking to, they say it's really good shape, it just probably needs some updates, I could be on the higher end of that range minus my fee. So if I see stuff that's selling for that sold for 100K 6 months before it was rehabbed, my offer to the homeowner is going to be, I'm going to try to keep it as no more than 80 grand. So that if
Right,
I get it under contract at 80, I can sell it for 100. So
right.
I'm just looking for what homes have sold to other investors, and then I back out what I want to make, and that's my maximum allowable offer.